250%, nagulat ako. Sabi
Yeah.
ko, ako ang promotor ng AIX kasi malaking tulong. Pero eto na naman tayo. Sana naman mapupunta yan kasi nagamit yan sa politika. Kaya napipilitan ka tuloy to become very malicious because it was used in the last election. Is it going to be used once again in the coming elections as well as the impeachment?
Okay, so are you seeing this,
this way?
Senator Marcos, are you seeing this as a concession being made by President Marcos Jr. for legislators in the lower house? Are you seeing this as a concession?
Well, given the extraordinary, humongous amounts, we are compelled to think twice. Bakit kaya? Samantalang, ang direly needed natin ng mga infrastruktura, yung subway na yan, yung mga tren, yung ating ports, ang airports, all the things we need for tourism and trade, all of that is not being put in place.
Yun ang sinasabi ko kanina pa mga kareaksyon. Yun ang sinasabi ko, nilagay po ang pera kung saan madaling nakawin. Hindi po nilagay ang pera kung saan ang pakikinabangan ng taong bayan.
In fact, we are gouging our government corporations, ang PDIC, ayan na, yung PhilHealth, GSIS, SSS, nako talaga naman yung Land Bank at DBP na nanagilid na sa flood control loans. Lahat yan, we are gouging with their, anong sinasabi nila, malalaking reserve. Paano ba to?
Now, you also actually lobbied that instead of increasing the amounts on these new aid programs to actually increase the 4Ps, diba? Ang 4Ps, which is an existing program, you actually lobbied to expand it. Pero it seems ang 4Ps, tama po ba, bumaba ang amount at hindi tumaas?
Yes, kinaltasan last year ang 4Ps. Ako may hawak noon, 50 billion. Talaga naman, dead or alive. Inaasahan niya ng 11 million, 11 million recipients. So it was a real stranglehold for many families. They couldn't move forward. This year, binawasan, kaya medyo tragic na talaga. Samantalang, if you think about it, unlike AIX, unlike TUPAD, unlike all these other projects, this is a very clear listing, a well-established listing from decades past, and it's already in the law, like the PhilHealth, which was more or less embezzled and compelled by the Supreme Court to be restored. The 4Ps has a charter, it has a law. You're supposed to obey that. You can't mess with our funds.
Oo. So ano nangyari sa 4Ps? Tanong ko lang po, for 2026. Senator Marcos, did you see the budget of 4P?
Ayon pa sa nakalap nating source online, Soto, may plano para patalsikin ako bilang Senate President. Kinumpirma ni Senate President Tito Soto na nakatanggap siya ng impormasyon ngayong weekend tungkol sa umano'y planong patalsikin siya sa pwesto bilang pinuno ng Senado. Ayon kay Soto, may ilang individual umano na kumakausap at nanliligaw sa ilang senador upang suportahan ang naturang hakbang. Sa kabila ng umiinit na usapan, nananatili siyang kumpiyansa sa kanyang panunungkulan at sa tiwalang ibinibigay sa kanya ng kanyang mga kapwa senador. Gayunman, sinabi ni Soto na handa niyang iwan ang desisyon sa kolektibong pasya ng buong Senado kaugnay ng kanyang liderato. Unquote. Komento pa ng maraming Pilipino online, dapat si Cayetano ang ipalit o kundi si Marcoleta para maibalik ang tiwala ng taong bayan sa Senado na siyang winalang hiya ni Skulbukol at Pinky. Deserve mo yan, Soto. Dapat mapalitan ka na agad dyan sa pwesto mo. Tandaan mo na kung nakuha mo ng mabilisang paraan ang nasa sa iyo ngayon, ay siya ring biglaang mawawala sa iyo ng mabilisan. Hindi ka man lang aabot ng 2026, matatanggal ka na agad dyan sa pwesto mo dahil halatang klaro pa sa sikat ng araw na may pinoprotektahan ka at takot kayong malantad ang katotohanan. Ayan na. Umami na rin sa wakas si Itbulaga na siya ay masisibak sa pwesto. Deserve mo yan, Skulbukol. Bumalik ka na lang sa Itbulaga. Hindi ka nararapat dyan sa pwesto dahil ang dapat dyan ay yung totoo para sa bayan at dapat abogadong may alam sa batas. Katulad ni Cayetano at Marcoleta. Kaya mas mabuti pang mag-resign ka na lang habang maaga pa. Huwag mo nang paabutin na magkudita pa o magrigodon. Mapapahiya ka lang. Senator Amy Marcos, may nakakagulat na ibinunyag sa publiko na dapat malaman ng taong bayan na di umano'y may malaking kuditang magaganap sa loob ng Senado na siyang tila magpapatalsik sa pwesto di umano kay Tito Soto.
Bago tayo mag-umpisa, baka pwede niyong i-like ang video na to. Malaking bagay ang like sa aming mga content creators. Maraming salamat po.
That there was a possibility that the minority would actually take over the Senate leadership once again. Either it was Alan Cayetano or Cheese Escudero to be back in the Senate presidential seat.
Naku po, yan na po sinasabi natin mga kareaksyon. Malapit-lapit na po ang oras ni Wambol University Scholar. Ito pakinggan po natin na maayos.
What are your thoughts about this as we enter the year? And then you said February is the date when another impeachment complaint could be filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. Posible bang may pagbabago sa liderato ng Senado ulit? Do you have the numbers?
Well, the reality is, right now, iba-iba kasi masalimuot yung issue, ano? Right
Oo.
now, we have the largest minority in recent history. Siyam
Okay.
kami. 9.
Oo.
That's a
Oo.
very large minority. It's never happened before. The minorities have always been so meager and so small. That's the reason that the coup d'etat is always being discussed because
Yeah.
susungkit ka lang ng apat okay na. Kapatid pa ni Alan, si Pia, ayan pa yung mga Villar, ayan pa yung iba't iba na hindi naman masyadong happy. Kaya eto nga, the question always arises. But the reality is, Cheese is very much beleaguered. Alan has his sister in the majority, so maybe there is some level of hesitation. The others are really dealing with the cases being filed against them. Ano? Si Bato cannot...
Yeah, where is he, by the way? Where is Senator Bato? Where
We
is
have
he?
we have no clue. Nung una, talagang nagte-text pa yan. Pero ngayon, hindi na namin maabot. Pero yung opisina niya, nakakapagpirma pa rin siya. Nagtatrabaho pa rin. Nagpapadala pa rin ng pirma, nagpa-file pa rin. Kaya, hindi rin naman natin masasabi na hindi nagtatrabaho. He just doesn't turn up.
Okay, all right. Now, I know you have a
Another
meeting.
another mysterious issue because they keep saying the warrant is there. Why don't they bring it out? What are they waiting for if it's there? If it's not there, why are you terrorizing the guy and persecuting all the DDS? I don't understand. Ilabas na ninyo, iserve na ninyo kung talagang nariyan at yung abogado niya ang sasagot. Marahil handa na yan.
All right. Now, Senator Marcos, hindi niyo po pinirmahan ang budget na ito at inilarawan niyo po siya na giniling budget. But you have Senate President Tito Soto describing this as one of the cleanest budgets ever.
Ang galing po nila, no? Wala pa rin. Sinabi nga yung unprogram, sinabi na ng Supreme Court na unconstitutional yung unprogram. Pero napakarami pa rin pong unprogram. Hundreds of billions of unprogram fund. Naku, ano ba talaga nangyayari sa bansa natin? Pagkatapos ng 2025, Xerox copy lang yung 2026 at there is more. Mas malaki po yung budget ng 2026 at 2025. The most corrupt budget.
Ay nako, marami akong comment, ayoko makipag-disagree, ano? Pero the reality is, the claim that it's the cleanest is prone to challenge. It's certainly the sneakiest. Kumbaga, yung pork, tinadtad-tadtad, pinarte-parte, at binahabahagi, pero kahit giniling pa yan, ang pork, baboy pa rin.
No,
Kaya
bo!
very fatty po ang budget.
Ang pork ay baboy pa rin. Siyempre, pork nga! Ganda nun na ang pork ay baboy pa rin. Ang pork ay baboy pa rin. Ang ganda. Tuloy.
Natin, we can see that as commented by so many, unang-una, the foreign assisted projects, which are the large projects that we so direly need. In DOTR, for example, yung mahiwagang traffic, nako, ikaw, lumalagari ka, Karen, mula Makati hanggang Quezon City. Yung Metro Manila Subway, wala ng pag-asa. Yung North-South commuter train, wala na rin sa DOTR. Also, we have the
Yan po ang pinakamahirap dyan. Nilagay po ang pera sa maipipipipipip, AIX, tsaka kung marami pang mga tinatad. Hindi po nila binigyan ng pondo yung mga proyekto ng Pangulong Duterte na makakapagpabago sa buhay ng bawat Pilipino, yung subway, yung mga North Luzon, railway, lahat po ng mga build project ng Pangulong Duterte. Hindi po nilagyan ng pondo ng mga animal. Nilagay po nila sa maipipipipip, AIX, kung saan para makurakot nila ang pera ng mga anak.
DPWH, the big projects there, the Metro Manila pumping stations, na alam naman natin, wala nang pag-asa rin yung Malabon, ang Caloocan hanggang sa Navotas. Parati na lang binabaha, konting ulan, pati Senado, pambihira. At saka yung mga tulay, Cavite to Bataan. So these huge infrastructure projects that garner enormous commitment funds. Nagbabayad tayo dyan para lang hawakan yung pera. And syempre, nakakahiya. Parang naging balasubas ang Pilipinas, ayaw natin magbayad. So all these funds have been set aside. And ano ang linagay? Ito na nga ang mga porky, ito na yung mga giniling na taba na nagmula sa mga FMR. Ayan, very nice. Ako talagang advocate for agriculture, and yet itong FMR, Farm to Market Road, more than double. Ibig sabihin, talagang naging farm to pocket road kaya. At saka yung mga ayuda, kadami-dami namang ayuda. Ano ba nangyari? At ako, hindi ako against ayuda. We know that everyone needs a helping hand, particularly when there's a storm, a disaster, man-made or otherwise. Certainly, everyone needs a leg up. And yung AIX tupad, kaya lang, bakit lumobo ng ganyang kalaki? Higit sa lahat, yung sa may sakit ba, yung MAIFIP ng DOH, pinaglalaban ko noon, sana ibigay na lang sa mga local hospital. Tagal kong governor, naghihikahos lahat ng local hospital. Bakit ibibigay na naman per district sa mga iba't ibang politiko? At ang Pilipino ba, kailangan lumuhod sa politiko para maging, para magamot, para makapasok sa ospital, para makalabas ng ospital? Parang sa akin, hindi yata tama yun.
Alright, okay. Isa-isahin po natin yan, Senator Marcos. So, it's been described as soft pork. Magkano po ba talaga sa tansya po ninyo ang soft pork sa budget na ito?
Well, marami kasi dyan na sinasabing soft pork. May talagang out and out pork, yung mga ayuda. Isang katerba kasi yung ayuda Ang dami. Kaya nga nagtataka ako, ba't ganyan kadaming ayuda? May eleksyon na naman ba? Pero kung tutuusin, unang-una, may eleksyon ng BARM. May eleksyon din ng mga barangay kapitan natin. Kaya huwag tayong makakalimot. And of course, alam naman natin, may schedule daw. The charges will be filed January 15. Babaklasin sa February 1 ang ICI, and by February 6, ayan na, dan. Alam na natin, impeachment, ayan na naman, umpisahan na naman. Kaya nakaka-nervyos, and abala talaga ako. Now, of course, the President has come out with a veto. A veto na kahapon. I don't have the gory details, but from what I gather, these are vetoes only to do with the unprogrammed. Maraming nagtatanong sa akin, ano ba yung unprogrammed na yan? Parating pinag-uusapan. Yung unprogrammed, kumbaga sa household, kapag nakachamba ka, nakapagtipid ka, nakadali ka ng murang bigas, pag may savings ka, o yung anak mo, o at least hindi na nagastosan, nagka-scholar, ayun. Yun ang ating unprogrammed. Kumbaga, nagkaroon ka ng extra income. So in truth and in fact, the unprogrammed funds are not a part of the 6.8 trillion budget. They're not a part of the budget kasi wala pang pera yan So, in fact, yung veto is no veto at all because not a single of the line items and programs and projects has been vetoed. Unprogrammed lang. Nakakatawa pa nga yung
Kumbaga, it does not exist yet. That's the best way to put it. It does not exist.
Correct. Wala pang datong. Wala pang savings. Yun, just in case makachamba tayo. Ayun, parang ganun. Kaso ngayon, ang nakakatawa, yung nakita ko, yung assistance to government-controlled and owned corporations, kung tutuusin, bakit tatanggalin yun? There's no need to veto that. Dahil that's just an accounting effort. It's from one government corporation to the national government. Parang iba lang sa listahan. Ililipat mo lang yun Ba't mo i-veto yun? Accounting error lang yan. Kumbaga, accounting magic lang yan. The same has to do also with the DTI CARS program. That's our automotive effort under the DTI. May utang tayo dyan sa Toyota at iba pang investor. And the utang is a tax incentive. So once again, there's no cash outlay. There's no need to veto because all you're doing is writing down, teka, they are qualified to get the following incentives. So nag-aalangan ako sa veto, nakakatawa
So are you saying this is just for show? These are token vetoes?
Well, I'm just saying that there no veto at all. Nothing was vetoed among the pork giniling. Kompleto yung giniling natin. Andiyan pa rin yung farm to market program, the completely untested school building program, which as you know in the past, talaga naman 22 classrooms lang sa isang taon. Bakit ka
under the
mag-engineering yan?
DPWH.
Oo, tapos bibigyan mo ng 85 billion. Eh, nagulat naman ako. Sabi ko nga, hindi ba dapat i-pilot muna yan? Tapos pag tinignan mo yung listahan ng mga, hindi ko naman minamaliit, pag tinignan mo yung listahan ng mga NGO at yung iba pa, parang yung iba affiliated sa politiko, wala naman experience sa pagpapatayo ng anuman school building. Nakaka-nervyos dapat i-pilot muna. Sa akin lang
Okay. Now, Senator Marcos, you actually sat at the BICAM and you were quite active at the BICAM. So, isa-isahin natin, no? Because inisa-isa po ninyo itong soft pork na nagsitaasan po siya. I want to read it for the audience. This is what has been described as bloated aid. Yung AIC, 63.9 billion pesos na. Ang MAIF, ito ang Medical Assistance Fund, 51.6 billion pesos na. Ang TUPAD is 22.4 billion pesos na. During the BICAM, what made it very difficult for you and other senators to lower, I think, the amount of these soft pork projects? Sino po ang hindi pumayag?
sabihin ko ang totoo, parang mag-isa lang ako doon. Ang
Okay.
totoo, Bongo came to join us for the minority. After a while, ayaw na niya. Nag-give up na siya. Unang-una, puyat na kami. And secondly, we're clearly outvoted. There was a real effort on the part of both Congresswoman Swansing and Senator Gatchalian to make it transparent, to put it online, to have live streaming, etc. Pero ang totoo, kung nanood kayo, di ba napakahaba ng mga suspension, postponement, bulungan, papatayin muna yung live stream, ang tagal-tagal, at walang katapusan yung pagte-telephone. Ang daming tumatawag, orders from on high ba yun? And we were always aghast when they came back. There was already some kind of an agreement. And as much as I was jumping up and down, protesting, that we don't need all these repeat, for example, napaka-redundant ng presidential assistance to farmers, 10 billion, it came out of nowhere. Sumulpot lang yan sa BICAM. Huwag nilang sasabihin walang insertion sa BICAM. Dahil wala talaga yan sa original budget. Ang usapan namin, yung AIX na lang, yun ang talagang tutulong. Whether disaster, agricultural, at iba pa. Bakit meron na naman bago, nagdoble-doble na, magiging magulo, at anong listahan na naman ang ibibigay dyan? Kapag agricultural, rice farmer lang ba yan sa RSBS? O paano yung fisher folk na mas mahirap pa? Magulo! And then they added pa, eto nga, yung AIX na sa BICAM, naging 64 billion
Yes,
from a
tumaas.
27.
Tumaas.
Yeah.
Oo, tumaas.
More than double. Kaya,
Yeah.
250% nagulat ako. Sabi
Yeah.
ko, ako ang promotor ng AIX kasi malaking tulong. Pero eto na naman tayo. Sana naman mapupunta yan kasi nagamit yan sa politika. Kaya napipilitan ka tuloy to become very malicious because it was used in the last election. Is it going to be used once again in the coming elections as well as the impeachment?
Okay, so are
Unfortunately,
you
we
seeing
have to think
this-
way?
Senator Marcos, are you seeing this as a concession being made by President Marcos Jr. for legislators in the lower house? Are you seeing this as a concession?
Well, given the extraordinary, humongous amounts, we are compelled to think twice. Bakit kaya? Samantalang, ang direly needed natin ng mga infrastruktura, yung subway na yan, yung mga
Yeah.
tren, yung ating ports, ang airports, all the things we need for tourism and trade, all of that is not being put in place.
Yun ang sinasabi ko kanina pa mga kareaksyon. Yun ang sinasabi ko, nilagay po ang pera kung saan madaling nakawin. Hindi po nilagay ang pera kung saan napakikinabangan ng taong bayan.
In fact, we are gouging our government corporations, ang PDIC, ayan na, yung PhilHealth, GSIS, SSS, nako talaga naman yung Land Bank at DBP na nanagilid na sa flood control loans. Lahat yan, we are gouging with their, anong sinasabi nila, malalaking reserve. Paano ba to?
Now, you also actually lobbied that instead of increasing the amounts on these new aid programs to actually increase the 4Ps, diba? Ang 4Ps, which is an existing program, you actually lobbied to expand it. Pero it seems ang 4Ps, tama po ba, bumaba ang amount at hindi tumaas?
Yes, kinaltasan last year ang 4Ps. Ako may hawak noon, 50 billion. Talaga naman, dead or alive. Eh, inaasahan niya ng 11 million, 11 million recipients. So it was a real stranglehold for many families. They couldn't move forward. This year, binawasan, kaya medyo tragic na talaga. Samantalang, if you think about it, unlike AIX, unlike TUPAD, unlike all these other projects, this is a very clear listing, a well-established listing. From decades past, and it's already in the law, like the PhilHealth, which was more or less embezzled and compelled by the Supreme Court to be restored. The 4Ps has a charter, it has a law. You're supposed to obey that. You can't mess with our funds.
Oo. So ano nangyari sa 4Ps? Tanong ko lang po, for 2026. Senator Marcos, did you see the budget of 4Ps?
Yes, nandun sa Office of the Secretary ang pagkaalam ko.
Oo. At bumaba, nag-50 billion lang po ba ang 4Ps ngayon?
Parang ganun nga dahil yun nga, binagsak lahat sa AIX, na yung AIX naging 64 billion. Nagtataka ako, bakit yung AIX 64 billion na wala ng parameters yan?
Okay. Now, the president in his press conference after signing the budget said that he will not allow politicians to distribute aid, right? Or for aid to be passed through politicians. Do you think that is possible at this point? What do you think was the president envisioning to the reality talaga of TUPAD, MAIF, and AIX in the budget? Yung katotohanan lang, posible ba talaga na hindi gamitin yon ng local politician for patronage politics? Posible ba yon?
Actually, kami nag-draft nag-umpisa kay Senator Ping, nag-draft na hindi makikialam. Kasi di ba bawal na yan sa DAP ruling ng Supreme Court, bawal makialam. Pag nasa budget na, it's the executive that implements and executes the budget. Hindi dapat nakikialam ang legislator. So we attempted to draft a provision and it exists there as a special provision. But if you examine it, it simply prohibits the involvement and the presence of the politicians at the distribution. Pero malay naman natin sa mga recommendation, mga bulong-bulong, mga telepono.
So technically, the politician can have a list of names. Pwede yon.
Yes.
The politician can have a list of names. Ibigay yon. Ang mga taong ito, gusto ko bigyan ng AIX, TUPAD, etc. Pwede maggaling pa rin sa politiko.
O syempre, ang nervous lang ng social welfare officer, ang takot lang noon, hindi syempre susunod yun, senador yun, siya sasabihin niya, ako naglagay niya na, mamaya, kaltasin ko yan, o paano ba yan? Tapos, ang drama, hindi ka a-appear doon sa distribution. Alam naman natin, appear na lang yun, pwede naman sa kabilang kanto, pwede naman magpakain sa kabila, mag-birthday, alam na natin yun. Hindi naman tayo nagmamaang-maangan dito.
All right. Now, I want to move on to the DPWH budget. The president has been proud to say, of course, that there is no flood control in the 2026 budget. But the PCIJ came out with a report that said pork actually accounts for 2/3 of the proposed 2026 DPWH budget. 2/3 of the DPWH budget, they claim, is actually pork. Okay, pag-usapan natin kasi bumaba actually ang DPWH budget. But is this a better budget? Is this a more functional budget for the DPWH?
I'm not aware of the PCIJ report that you're referring to. There are quite a few, pero sa akin, nung umpisa, di ba kinaltasan ng 255 billion ang DPWH? Nung umpisa, ayun ang marching order. At ang matinding sinabi, tanggalin lahat ng flood control and also halve all the unit costs of materials and quantities. So, ang nangyari, we took out the 255 billion, but Secretary Dizon changed his mind. Ano ba yun? And clearly, first of all, I'm not against flood control. I am against Corakot flood control. Yan talaga hindi pwede.
Because we need
we need flood control. Pero yung matinong flood control, katulad nga nung foreign assisted na pumping station ng Metro Manila, konting ulan bimabaha na sa Metro Manila. Alam naman natin yun. So, why are we banning all that? That's madness. Ang dapat i-ban at i-prosecute yung mga nangurakot. Ikalawa, itong sinabi kasi ni Secretary Dizon na lahat ng DPWH ay corrupt at siya daw ay makakapaghati ng lahat ng unit cost. Napakamot ako ng ulo because we all know that prices are rising hugely and quickly, and where this halving, for example, of steel, of cement, all the materials necessary is curious. Siyempre may overpriced, may overdesign para i-justify yung mga kickback. But having said that, 50% across the board is huge, particularly for example for bridges. Yung mga tulay natin, siyempre puro bakal yan. Paano matititipirin yan? Ang takot mo lang.
So, how would you describe it now? Because I know you haven't seen this particular report, but the PCIJ claims that 400 billion pesos of the total DPWH budget is in what they describe as allocables. Kumbaga, nakapork siya, proponents are legislators suggesting certain projects in their districts.
Yes, that's correct. Eto nga, ang problema dyan, there's something called the NEP, the original budget submitted by the President, where he states all his flagship, landmark, important, big projects, very frequently with foreign grants, foreign loans, and other commitments. Parating may ganun, yung President's budget, yung NEP. Pagkatapos noon, eto na, magbibigayan na kami ng request, which is okay, kasi talaga naman yan ang trabaho mo as a district representative.
Okay.
You're supposed to collate everyone's request. Lahat naman request. Mayor, governor, congressman. Ako, ang dami-daming request sa akin. Dahil akala ako yung kapatid at malakas. Hindi lang nila alam ako yung kontrabida. Kaya eto nga. Marami kaming request. Ini-endorse lang namin sa Public Works. Bahala na sila mag-decide. Ang problema, nagiging pag-aari ng distrito ang mga project na iba. Eto ang hindi tama. Kung bakit nagiging pag-aari at nagiging allocable. Yung allocable, yung dinagdag nila. Yung President's budget, ginagawa na rin nilang allocable. Ibig sabihin, kaya nilang tirahin at hihingi ng komisyon, pagkatapos pipiliin yung contractor, tapos kung ano-anong gagawin sa implementation sa mga barangay na type nila. So this is the real issue that the district engineers have become pawns. They're absolutely terrified in many cases of certain congressmen who, as we know, are very large public works contractors. So yan ang problema natin. Dahil naging pag-aari ng bawat distrito. Tapos ngayon, mainit tayo sa public works, pero kung kausapin mo naman yung public works, to a certain degree, nagsasabi naman sila ng totoo pag sinabi nila, napag-utusan lang po ako. Lahat sila napag-utusan lamang. Ganun lahat ang dahilan. On a certain level, totoo naman napag-utusan sila at yung mga contractor.
Okay, Senator Marcos, naibalik po ba sa DPWH budget yung request ni Secretary Vince Dizon to reinstate the 250 billion? Was that what he was requesting, 250?
Yes, he wanted to put it back, and a certain amount was restored, and what was not restored was put here and there. So, eto nga, that's what I mean by a sneaky budget. At yan ang ibig ko sabihin ng pork giniling, kasi napunta sa iba't iba, at alam naman natin yan.
Okay. Now, would you describe this budget after seeing it? Because we're talking about the last 2 years of this administration, of President Marcos Jr., and people are still looking for a legacy project. Duterte had build, and when Marcos Jr. came in, he said it would be BBM, build better, more. Now, let's be objective. Is this a budget that would reflect a build better, more? That when President Marcos Jr. leaves office, he actually has something to show for, something solid. Does this budget reflect that?
Yun na nga ang aking problema, that this is not developmental budget. There are no investments to the future. It's very much a political election year budget, which mystifies me because there's no national election upcoming. What the heck is this for? That's my question. I am totally perplexed by what's going on. I understand that there's a very draconian timeline already established that by January 15, as I said earlier, 3 senators and 3 congressmen are going to be charged. Thereafter, February 1, the ICI will be disbanded. Kung sa bagay, nag-resign na sila. Wala pang lumalabas na ulat na maliwanag at sangkatutak na listahan, turuan at pagdideny ang naabutan natin. And thereafter, February 6 is the magic date that allows a new impeachment to be filed. As a matter of fact, many of the lower house's representatives have come to us, have been asking the advice and counsel of the senators regarding the change of leadership because there is a sense that the speaker may be too kind, may be too soft, and that Boji may be unable to generate the votes necessary for an impeachment.
All right. So let's start with that right now. No, the flood control hearings. The administration has promised na may makukulong na big fish by December 15. They gave that date and nothing happened. People were disappointed. And number 2, among the names mentioned, you have former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, who, of course, Senator Ping Lacson said the original sin starts really with the pork coming from the lower house insertions that are made. But you don't have former Speaker Martin Romualdez in any of the names that are mentioned really for cases to be filed. I want to ask first your point of view on that. What do you think of former Speaker Martin Romualdez? Do you think charges will actually be filed against him, or is this administration out to protect him?
Well,
So, frankly, you are not hopeful or optimistic because the DPWH did announce, I remember by November last year, they did announce that they are recommending charges to be filed against the former speaker. I remember, I think the president himself announced that the DPWH was recommending it. But given it is now January 2026, are you optimistic, Senator Marcos, of any
yes,
kind?
no, to tell you the truth, nung August pa, nananagilid na kami. Paano nag-umpisa si Chairman Marcoleta, mga backup kami doon sa Blue Ribbon, and we started investigating this flood control mess. And then we brought up the subjects of the unprogrammed, the 800 billion, pinakamalaking kitty ng DBM, the DPWH, and of course, all the insertions that magically appeared during the BICAM or the small BICAM in 2025. You will recall, I never signed the 2025 budget either. And as a matter of fact, made a privileged speech in December 6 of 2024 urging E.S. Bersamin at that time and Secretary Amina, huwag papirmahin ang kapatid ko dyan, dadali tayo dyan.
So you
Palpak
did
yan.
you advised that? You told
sinabi
Secretary
ko,
Mina Pangandama noon?
Hindi, tumayo ako. May privilege speech ako doon. Talaga sinabi ko, huwag ninyo papayagan at patay tayo dito. Talagang kalokohan to. At yung mga infrastructure projects, humingi ako ng listahan. I was asking for a list and all they told me, no, there's trillions there, but it's various infrastructure projects. Nagkakamot ako ng ulo. Anong various infrastructure projects? VIP? Anong pangalan ni VIP? Bakit walang listahan? Billion-billion?
Yeah.
How is this possible? So I was really, really perplexed about that. And thereafter, they urged us, pirmahan na ninyo yung BICAM report. Sabi ko, asan yung BICAM report? Ang kulit-kulit ko, tanong ako ng tanong. Basta pirmahan ninyo. Hindi naman ako pwedeng pumirma. Hindi ko pa nakikita. Yun, yung mga blankety blank. May 67 yata na blank amounts. I'm like, alam mo, Ilocana ako. Hindi ako pipirma ng mga blank check. Kaka-nervyos. And that's what happened. I never signed it. I knew it was going to be trouble from day one. And I knew that this flood control mess was going to go nowhere when Chairman Marcoleta was removed from the Blue Ribbon Committee, because thereafter, talagang hinihinto na kami kapag umaabot na kay Bonjing, Tambaloslos, pag umaabot na kay Sandro, pag umaabot na sa Palasyo. Biglang talagang may iskerda na sila. Talagang, okay, your time is up. Wala yan sa topic. Hindi naman unprogram pinag-uusapan kay Secretary Amina. Puros ganon. So, alam na namin, wala na talagang patutunguhan to. Pakitang tao na lamang.
But then one would think that Senator Ping Lacson would he would be more objective, he would be more fearless, he would not protect any particular public official in any way. So are you saying that the leadership of Senate President Tito Soto and Senator Ping Lacson under the Blue Ribbon Committee, they were not completely objective and fearless with the investigations?
Well, sabihin na natin na hindi ako bumoto, no? Hindi ako bumoto sa kanila eh. So, I'm the wrong person to ask because I already put my vote in and I'm
Alright.
part of the minority now, ano? Kasama namin si Alan, si Cheese, sina Joel, Robin, Bongo. Kami yung
Okay.
katropa.
Alright.
Yan ang problema. Tapos iniisa-isa naman kami na kinakasuhan. Yan ang problema namin.
Okay,
So,
I want to move to
it's a
this.
problem. And as to Senator Ping, medyo idol yan eh. Kaya nalulungkot ako, ba't nagkakaganito?
Ama naming Diyos na makapangyarihan sa lahat, salamat po sa iyong pagmamahal na hindi nagmamaliw. Sa gitna ng kaguluhan sa aming bansa, turuan niyo po kaming magtiwala sa iyong hustisya at hindi sa hustisya ng tao. Linisin niyo po ang aming mga puso at ituro niyo po ang tamang daan ng katotohanan at pag-ibig. Tulungan niyo po kaming maging ilaw sa gitna ng dilim at ipakita sa mundo na may pag-asa pa sa pangalan ng aming Panginoon Hesus. Salamat po sa pag-ibig po ninyo at salamat sa pagdinig ng aming mga panalangin at iligtas niyo po kami. Sa pangalawa po ninyong pagparito at patawarin po kami sa lahat ng aming mga pagkukulang at pagkakasala sapagkat ito po ang aming samutiling sa matamis na pangalan ng aming Panginoon Hesus. Amen.
Sa lumang silid, mag-isa kang tahimik. Walang kamera, palakpak ay wala na. Ngunit sa bawat pader ng bayang iniwan mo, may pangalan mong di na mabubura.
Minsan kang naging balikat ng mahihina, kalaban ng takot, kakampi ng masa. Di mo man laging nasabi ang tama, pinili mong ipaglaban ang madla.
Hindi ka sakdal gaya naming lahat, pero tumindi ka nang walang pag-atras. At ngayong pagod ka na, tatay, kami naman ang sasalo ng bawat bigat. Hanggang sa dulo, ikaw ay mahal. Kahit papagod na ang iyong katawan. Tatay, salamat sa iyong paglaban. Ngayon, kami naman hanggang sa dulo. Di ka namin iiwan. Ang kwento mo'y dala ng bayan. Tahimik ka na sa mga batikos. Wala nang tugon, wala nang galit, pero sa mata ng mga maralita, naroon pa rin ang tapat mong alaala.
Marami mang di nakaintindi, marami pa rin ang di nakakalimot.
At yun na nga mga kababayan, ano na ang masasabi mo? Kung mayroon kayong hinaing at komento patungkol sa balitang ito, please comment down below. Pag-uusapan natin yan sa comment section. At kung nagustuhan nyo ang video, ay huwag kalimutang mag-like at i-share na din para mas marami pang makaalam at umabot ito sa marami sa ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat po.
Mabuti pa ang sardinas, may label. Eh tayo, wala.
Oo nga pala.
Nay, ito na yung bayad ko sa isa, ano? O, kunin mo yung isa. Isa muna, iyan, no? Tapos, isa pa, di ba? 4 dapat na sardinas, eh. Yan. 3 na. Pang-4 na sardinas. Okay na.